Hello, I'm Christy Rogers, and today I'd like to talk to you about an organization that many of you may not be familiar with. I wasn't either until a couple of years ago. Throughout my life, I've heard the words March of Dimes, and I knew that they were a non-profit organization that helped people, some people. I didn't know their mission. I didn't know who they helped, and I certainly didn't have a face to put with the words. President Franklin Roosevelt established the March of Dimes in 1938 as a partnership between volunteers and researchers with one mission: to fight polio. This foundation eventually led to the development of the polio vaccine. Today, the March of Dimes has a different mission: to improve the health of babies by preventing birth defects, prematurity, and infant mortality. 2 years ago, I was told about a premature baby in Mississippi. His birth mother was giving him up for adoption, and she had chosen me to raise him. He was very sick, and as I began to research his medical conditions and the complications that came with them, I kept coming back to one site over and over again: the March of Dimes. I found out that their mission was to fund research that would prevent prematurity and to fund new medical treatments for premature infants who were struggling to survive. I figured out who they helped, people like me, by providing a wealth of information and by educating people on the many things that they can do to increase the chances of having a full-term pregnancy. I put a face with the words March of Dimes. It was the face of my son. Preterm births have increased 36% over the last 25 years in the United States, and no one has any clear answers as to why. Premature birth touches over 500,000 babies every year and their families. Babies born too soon. Many of them do not survive, and if they do, many of them will have disabilities that they will live with for life. Even knowing the statistics, it didn't hit home for me until I walked through a neonatal intensive care unit and saw row after row after row of incubators that held tiny little babies that were hooked to machines that were keeping them alive. I'm not talking about 5 or 10 babies. I'm talking about 50 or more, each unique, each one with a different story. But they all had one thing in common: they were born too soon. And because of it, they were all struggling to simply live. November is National Prematurity Awareness Month, and I wanted to take this opportunity to make you aware of the work of this wonderful foundation. I wanted you to know what their mission is and who they help. And I wanted to give you a face to put with the words March of Dimes. Thank you for your time.